I hit 2 home runs at Father Kelly Field, so that's all I needed with the
That's good.
softball. That's a big field. One, the wind helped, and one was real.
Shouldn't need you can't be talking about the wind. Just keep it quiet. It is what it is. You played the elements. If you hit it and the wind was blowing at you, you wouldn't have been,
Yeah.
What's up, guys, and welcome to Quick Diz News, episode number 5. I am your host, Tim LeBeau, here once again with Mr. John Castano.
Hello.
And Mrs. Sarah Castano.
Hey, howdy, hey.
Please, if you haven't already, like, share, and subscribe to the podcast and the YouTube channel. Check us out on Apple Podcasts as well. And if you don't mind, give us a nice little review there. The show would really appreciate it. Check out www.quickdiztakes.com as well. And on Facebook at Quick Diz Take. Quick Diz Takes. And Quick Diz Takes Tim on Instagram and Quick Diz Skook on Instagram as well. Okay, now that all that fun stuff's out of the way, let us begin with the mentions.
Images have surfaced on social media outlets of a figure covered in hunting foliage in place of where the previously removed Trader Sam had been. It's evident there is now something in that space, but Disney's not ready to unveil it just yet. Additionally, Disney has removed the totem pole featuring several animatronics in the rhino scene who get the point in the end. This also will be revamped for the upgrade to the ride. Just has been removed at this point. Next up, Disney Parks Chairman Josh D'Amaro mentions that Guardians of the Galaxy Cosmic Rewind will be coming soon. During a virtual press conference recently, that also covered a variety of topics, including the reopening of Disneyland and Avengers Campus. He also divulged that Epcot's new nighttime spectacular Harmonious is in similar standing and no dates have been given. So hopefully those will be ready in time for the 50th in October. Disney World hires as more cast members are returning to work. Some are speculating the theme park capacities are scheduled to increase this summer after park reservation availability went from being completely booked to having availability in both May and June. In response to the increased capacity, Disney Careers website has posted new jobs from mousekeeping to lifeguards in order to meet the demands of guests. And a couple of quick updates. Oh, I lost my spot. Here it is. Disney Parks has begun to sell their reusable utensil set. A couple weeks ago, we talked about how Disney announced they would be getting rid of plastic silverware, especially in line with food and wine coming up. So their initiative to be more eco-friendly, they have a couple of options at this point. It consists of a full set with a fork, knife, spoon, along with a reusable straw and the cleaner for the straw, and a roll-up wrapper made of sustainable materials. And all of these items feature Disney's Reduce, Reuse, Recycle icon based on the Mickey silhouette. The reusable straw is also sold separately in a plastic carrying pod. It looks like a giant Tic Tac if you are looking for just the straw instead of the whole utensil set. The reusable utensil set features the phrasing Fun, Eat, Repeat with the new icon, while the straw sold individually features the phrasing Play, Drink, Repeat, also with a new icon. Additionally, Disney's also selling reusable bottles and cups, kitchen towels, lunch boxes, and sandwich containers, all with the new branding available for purchase right now. And last up on our quick updates, Disney confirmed that Magic Mobile will be coming to Android devices later this month, April 2021. So in case you're unaware, guests who choose to utilize Magic Mobile on their smart devices can enter the theme parks, parking lots, connect PhotoPath, linked accounts, and gain access to virtual queues such as Rise of the Resistance, all on this app. Feel free to go.
Oh, I'm going. So I really don't have much to say about any of this except for the Cosmic Rewind, I guess. Just find that interesting because I thought it was pretty much decided that that was going to be opening in 2022, which I guess it still could be because coming soon is kind of a broad statement in terms of Disney rides opening. Although when you hear it, you feel like you said, are we going to get this on the 50th anniversary? I don't know. If it does, it's a pleasant surprise because, I mean, like I said, last I've read and heard, which was not that long ago, they were pretty much kind of threw in the towel. I was like, listen, it's gonna be 2022. So I don't know what to make of that, but I guess we'll see. And also, now I am really getting on board with the idea that The Rock's going to have an animatronic, and what they're doing right now is hiding him in those bushes, and they're taking the other guys out so that they can put guys, whatever characters from the movie that I don't know about yet, into that scene. And that is my prediction, and I'm sticking with it until I'm proven wrong.
My kind of takeaway from this with the Josh D'Amaro coming soon comment about Harmonious is we can kind of see the process, or the progress, I should say, on that as more and more of those barges come out into the lagoon area. I don't know. They're pitch black, which I understand the need for that during the nighttime spectacular, but they're just kind of a bit of an odd image during the day when you have all these bright, colorful things from all these countries, and then you just have this black mass in the middle of the lagoon. I heard somewhere that there's supposed to be a fountain.
They're all going to be fountains
during the day,
and which I don't know. I'd rather look across than look at fountains too. So I don't know.
Right. I don't know if these barges are permanent.
No, they have to stay there all the time because they can't take them in and out like they used to because they're too big. They said.
That's why.
But what was I going to say? Yeah, they're saying they're going to be fountains, but just looking at the size, I know we saw. There was a car. Was there one there when we were there?
There was definitely one that I remember. There might have been two. It
wasn't the big circle one yet, but just judging by the size of that one, and then I think there's 4 or 5 of them, and then that big one with the circle, like just the amount of pumps they need to make it be a fountain. I feel like that's going to be very loud just to, I don't know. I hope it's going to be okay because I don't know. It is nice to be able to look across and see all the countries from that main focus point there.
I mean, I appreciate the fact they dress it up as fountains during the day, so it's not a terrible eyesore. It's hard in this iteration of what we've seen and what's being posted on social media as their progress. It's just tough to kind of get that vision in your head at this point.
Yeah. I mean, I think the show is going to be really good, but is it going to be worth seeing those things all day to have that 20-minute show at the end of the night?
I hope the show's good. The only thing I don't like about it is that it's really continuing with the pumping of the IPs into Epcot. And it's like, all right, Illuminations needed to be obviously needed to go. It's been old. It is old. Blah blah blah. But I mean, the idea of Illuminations, it could have just been not refurb, but like just rewritten and redone and still kept some kind of like Epcot style idea behind it. Where I'm sure Harmonious will be great, but I mean, it's just going to be a show that to me, it's going to be a show that you would expect to see at the Magic Kingdom. Now, I'm going to try to bring this up because I got a feeling this could lead to a long conversation. I hope, whatever, I'm bringing it up. I've said this to people off the show, and I'll say it again. Disney tried different things in terms of styles of theme parks. And the reality of it is, and I think it's tough to argue this, we'll see what you guys have to say. The reality of it is the Castle Park design and idea is really the only thing that works. In other words, what I'm trying to say is they tried MGM, meh. They tried Epcot. It was good for a while, but they realized quickly that there's no way you can keep up with that kind of a park. You just can't do it. Things move too fast. And in the end, what is becoming of all these parks and why Hollywood Studios is flourishing again is because they went back to that idea of I'm not even saying the design in general, like the hover, and I'm just saying, here's this park, here's the icon in the middle, here's this land, here's that land, here's this land, and that's what everyone wants. And it's not, we don't want backlot tours, we don't want Sarah's phone ringing, we don't want, no, but seriously. And so I think even with Epcot, I mean, I know even with Epcot, they've just thrown in the towel on that one too. And it's like, okay, here's the World Showcase right now. God knows what that will be in 15 years as far as, I mean, I think it will be there, but as far as like the theming and everything goes, I mean, you're already putting in a show in the middle of it that's going to be completely IP driven. And Ratatouille's going in, Frozen's already in, Mary Poppins is going to find its way in sooner or later. It's been up and down. I got a feeling they'll get that. I'm kind of glad they're gonna, but I guess the point I'm just trying to make is, as much as I'm kind of excited to see Harmonious, I think that it will be kind of sad. I don't know, to see the idea, Epcot's original ideas kind of just not being there anymore. And then they're gonna eventually do what we all dread, and that is take Living with the Land out. And things like that, which is only a few things left that are gonna like in Spaceship Earth. Even they've already tried to tinker with it. They had to put it on pause.
Right.
They'll
figure
out a way. But
I kind of like that they kept Epcot as a non-traditional, I guess, theme park. It wasn't meant to be the best I mean, it was in its own way, but it wasn't meant to be a thrill theme park like you would typically go to. And I think that's why I liked it so much. And I think I liked that they didn't put any IPs in there, or whatever IP they had, it was an original, like Figment and the Dreamfinder. That became a thing because it was already there, but it wasn't something that was established elsewhere.
Yeah.
And it makes me kind of, I mean, and if anything's getting put in as far as Disney IPs, as much as I'm really against this being the park that it goes in, because I really don't feel like it is, and I've expressed that before, at least it's a traditional, it's an older, Disney classic, and it's not a newer thing. It's not something that's just coming out. It's not like they're throwing Raya in the Last Dragon into the China Pavilion. So at least it's something that's established and it's a classic. So I guess if they're going to throw an IP, at least it's,
Frozen,
there's a consolation to it.
Frozen's a classic.
Well,
not like Mary Poppins.
Yeah, but you said classic. I'm just saying Frozen has established itself as a moneymaker and as a big hit, but it's not a classic yet. Like, and same thing with kind of Guardians. Guardians is part of Marvel. It's not a,
But I think there's a line to be distinguished between popular and money-making and classic. I mean, I wouldn't say it's vintage.
I know, but didn't you just say you like that they put classic stuff in there?
I would rather they put like a Disney classic. Like if you think of like the VHS clamshell cases.
I understand what you're saying, but I'm saying Frozen's not classic. But again,
right, that's what I'm saying. It doesn't.
But I'm saying
I don't feel like that belongs.
But it's the only thing that goes with that country. That's the problem with that. I'm sure they can do it with other, which I think they will do it with. But
they're reskin happy.
Yeah.
I mean, at the same time, sometimes IPs work to me though. Like I think if they put Coco in Mexico, for example, that would work because it's such a movie driven on the culture of Mexico, so it goes hand in hand. It's kind of what you said on the podcast Tuesday, when you don't really mind them putting the characters in Small World because it works, and when it works, it's fine. But Frozen in Norway is just like way out of. It's just I want to say out of left field. I don't know if it's out of left field because I mean there is a Norwegian feel to Frozen. It's kind of assumed that's where it takes place and all that stuff. But there is
Scandinavian feel,
yes,
Nordic.
Literally no. You learn nothing about the Norwegian culture anymore when you go on that ride. And this is kind of what the whole thing's about.
You have to go into that like church building if you want to read anything, see anything, and people probably don't know you can go in there.
Yeah, I know, and it's kind of neat in there, but it's not much to it. And then the other thing is with Mary Poppins, same thing as Coco. Is like Mary Poppins does encompass some of the culture of the UK. It
Now,
takes place there.
Where
you
did
know.
Raya and the Last Dragon take place?
It was a fictional world, I believe.
What is it supposed to be? Could it be Japan?
I believe it's Asia,
Because
like an Asian.
There's
inspired.
no. I'm just thinking that there's no movie that takes place in Japan, and that could
Yeah.
slide right in.
Well, the thing is, like,
it is, I don't know. It just seems like
China's got Mulan already.
they would
I'm
need the.
saying
Yeah.
there's nothing for Japan. I think there's something very like a country, but there wasn't Japan. They're just convenient that it like Frozen takes place in Scandinavia. This takes place in that can take the place of Japan. So it fits.
The only problem too is with the World Showcase. As time goes on, as you make money, and this is actually a healthy argument. I mean, kind of an argument for what Disney's doing in a sense. It's healthy for them down the road as time goes on and money is made, and you want new offerings for your guests to want to expand, and the only you have to put the IP into the country. Well, not the IP necessarily, but you have to put some kind of a ride in the country or completely get rid of the country, which would be weird if they were like, oh, we're going to put a ride, so we got to get rid of the American Pavilion. And then they put a ride in the middle. You can't do that. It has to be attached to a pavilion. So they kind of have no choice. And then you guys might not remember this, or maybe may have never heard this, but there was a time when I went in '89. There were plans for like 3 different rides. They were actually advertising the ride already. I remember seeing the concept art for the mountain ride that was going behind. I think they were going to bring.
I think Japan was supposed to have a roller coaster.
Yeah, Mount Fuji.
Yeah.
Yeah, and then there was another one. I think they were supposed to put a suite. I think it might have even been another Matterhorn was the idea behind that one. I don't remember exactly.
Something, yeah, for yeah.
And then there was it's been something that's been on their brains for a while now anyway. And in all honesty, despite the fun we have going around and having a few drinks and eating around the world, if without any attractions back there, we said it before, say it again. It's kind of like you get past Mexico, and there's nothing going on for a kid.
Mm-hmm.
So I don't know. This all stemmed off of Harmonious, and I guess put about 2 or 3 more IPs in and play Harmonious every night, and you're in the Magic Kingdom. That's all I'm saying. I guess that's what I was trying to say.
Yeah.
It's no different.
No.
Because Frozen, Ratatouille, even Mary Poppins can all be fantasy. Could all be in Fantasyland.
Yep.
Like seamlessly. So if anything, it's a small world ought to come out of Fantasyland and go into Epcot. That would make more sense.
Yeah.
And that's our new Harmonious. No, I'm kidding.
That's what I'm saying, though. It does make sense.
It does.
And then you could build Johnny's big, nice exterior building.
Yeah. It looks lovely.
Matter of fact, now that I think, I never thought about this before, ever, and that's the last thing I'll say because I know we're taking too much time, is how did It's a Small World get into Fantasyland to begin with? Now that I'm thinking about it, I never really stopped to think about it. It's across the way from Peter Pan. It makes no sense. There's nothing fantasy about.
I think it was just to bring the rides from Disneyland over and throw it there because that's all that was there.
Is it in Disneyland's Fantasyland too? I believe it must be.
I'm not sure.
I'll have to look that up after. Anyway, all right, let's go to headlines.
All right, so our first big one is Disney updates their hair and dress code guidelines to become more inclusive. Disney adjusts their employment policies in a move to have more representation across their company, starting with their leadership. So this includes revisiting their practices and how cast members are allowed to present themselves within the parks. Disney's new guidelines provide greater flexibility with respect to gender-inclusive hairstyles, jewelry, nail styles, as well as costume choices, and allowing visible and appropriate tattoos. Josh D'Amaro is quoted as saying, quote, "Moving forward, we believe our cast, who are at the center of the magic that lives in all of our experiences, can provide the best of Disney's legendary guest service when they have more options for personal expression, This creates richer, more personal, and more engaging experiences with our guests. So this is just the beginning as we continue to work toward a world where we all belong, including a more diverse and inclusive Disney parks, experiences, and products. There is more to do, but we are committed to listening, learning, and making meaningful improvements, end quote. There's lots of talk on social media this week as this was rolled out. And I'm here for it. And I see why this is important to guests, and I see why it's important to cast members. And I'm excited that kids are going to see people with tattoos at Disney.
They should. You see them in everyday life. I mean,
right.
Tattoos are a big part of culture. I don't see like.
Think of. Oh God.
I don't see like. Maybe if you have. I mean, I don't see like somebody that has facial tattoos. Maybe I think I understand what did the word he used? Tasteful. Is that what he said?
Visible and appropriate.
Appropriate. So I mean, I'm not going to see like. Face tattoos, like maybe anything above the neck type of tattoos,
right?
But like maybe even not even
on
like
your wrist,
like a wrist tattoo. Maybe not even like full. If I know a lot of people have full sleeves, both arms. Like I don't know if that'll happen, but maybe something on your, your forearm. I can see things like that. But
the images that were released along with the news that had been broken did show people with on their lower forearm, people who had maybe leg tattoos if they're wearing shorts. So it didn't seem like it was anything crazy. It's not like you're going to get a person head to toe covered in tattoos, but I think it's just normalizing that these are the people who comprise the company and kind of gives that representation.
So could I get a job there? I only have one arm done and my leg.
I mean, they're visible and they're all appropriate. You don't.
I know what I'm saying is that like I'm not saying that. I'm saying is that too much of skin covered. That's what I don't know. I don't know if there's going to be a limit of.
They haven't said there's like a formulaic response to it. I think.
I know, but I'm just saying I don't know what that. Like, are they going to let people? Like, I mean, a lot of people dye their hair different. Like, are they going to let somebody with pink highlights in their hair, or are they going to let somebody with hair that's completely blue or green? Like, what is like, could Billie Eilish, when her hair was green, could she get a job there? Is that too much?
It didn't say anything about hair color. It just said hairstyles. So I'm thinking maybe shorter styles on women or longer styles on men. I think that's more along this line.
Like, are men not allowed to have beards too?
I know they had rule about facial hair.
They can just have mustaches. Like, is that? I don't know.
I mean,
they didn't exactly release the list either.
If they want to have a rule about facial hair, for example, I mean, that's up to them, I guess, as far as that goes. But the one thing I would say about it is, I mean, none of it. I mean, I don't care about any of it as far as like good, let them do it. But at the same time, maybe they'd be concerned about some of the theming. If it came into if affected the theming. I'm just trying to think about how that would work. Like, you wouldn't. I don't know if you'd want like like, they don't really do anything over. They don't really have walk around characters anymore. Anyway, I guess, so whatever.
Fantasyland, could you have a motorcycle tattoo on your arm like that?
That'd be a little out of place, right?
Like something like that. And
I'm not even saying for individualism or anything. I'm just saying, I know they're all about keeping the theming, so I wonder how that will work.
That was the whole point of the utilidors.
They might just place people accordingly.
Maybe.
I mean, I can't imagine that people who are employed by Disney have inappropriate or I don't want to say unapproved, but unsavory tattoos to begin with. I think Disney's screening process is a bit rigorous for that, and I think whatever tattoos people have would be reasonable. I feel.
I didn't even realize that was a thing, to be honest with you.
I know that there. I used to work with a girl who used to work at Disney. She went through the college program and she was employed there for a while before coming home for a bit. And she had a tattoo on her lower forearm. And so even in the summer when it's super hot out, she always wore long sleeves. They gave her the option of either using makeup to cover it, and it had to be like Disney stage makeup that they use for their stage shows because it covered it really well. But she's like, sometimes she'd get sweaty and it would, drip or whatever. So they do have options if you wanted to wear short sleeves, or they had like those almost like nylons, but it's really thick and it would cover up. So they try to match it to your skin tone. She goes, but that she's really pale, and so it didn't really jive for her. But she ended up just wearing long sleeves.
Well,
I mean, like I said, I didn't even notice that was a thing anyway. I just never really paid attention to it. And I mean, so many people get tattoos now that the other issue besides them just, claiming that they're going to just let everybody be individuals, which I'm sure they are and all that stuff. But the other thing is, like, they're probably having a hard time hiring people because there's so many people that, especially like in the artsy profession, like people get, you get tattoos.
Right.
So, no big deal to me. Fine. Good for them.
Yeah, I'm here for it. Let people express themselves. All right. Our other big headline came out earlier this evening. Actually, Disney announced a partnership with SeaWorld, which was very surprising in my worldview, in order to save Florida's coral reef. So Disney has just announced their partnership with SeaWorld, the Association of Zoos and Aquariums, the Fish and Wildlife Foundation of Florida, the Florida Fish and Wildlife Conservation Commission, and the NOAA Fisheries to establish the Florida Coral Rescue Center. Apparently, for the past year, a team of Disney aquatic wildlife experts, along with conservationists, have been working on a special mission to help save Florida's coral reefs from the rapid spread of stony coral tissue loss disease, which has put 22 coral species at the risk of extinction. So Florida coastline is home to the Disney Cruise Line and part of their kind of backyard conservation efforts. So Disney wants to do what they can to help keep those coral reefs vibrant and healthy. They do have an investment in the reefs as part of their excursions on the cruise line. So it does provide a safe and stable environment for 745 coral specimens and their offspring currently in their care. The goal is to one day return these rescued corals back into the ocean to help restore and repopulate the underwater ecosystem, which is essential to marine life who depend on them for survival.
And I find it funny that I don't know how this works. There's got to be reasons for this, but Disney doesn't have like every resource in the world to just do their own thing. They partner up with SeaWorld. I wonder why that happens. There has to be a reason. I doubt they just did it for fun. Maybe.
I'm wondering if Disney partnered with all those other wildlife preservation commissions and SeaWorld also partnered with them. I don't know. I mean, the way it was worded said Disney partnered with SeaWorld and all these other people. And I'm wondering if all these other people partnered with Disney and also partnered with SeaWorld. And so they're connected in that sense.
Yeah, and they're just naming the two big ones.
Right.
It's probably just all of, like all those companies. It's just anyone that has to do with ocean conservation, like they all do. So they just, like I'm sure more aquariums and stuff will be added to that as.
Right. Or I wonder if SeaWorld went to Disney and said, look, we're going to do, like, Disney doesn't do this legwork, but we do. You want to, if you throw money our way, we'll do the legwork. Is that the partnership too?
Yeah.
But I mean, Disney does have their own conservation company, though.
They do. It's all animal kingdom. I don't know how much it entails. How much of it is ocean work, but who knows? I don't know. That's well past my area of expertise.
I just don't see that like with all the negative like press that SeaWorld had gotten, with the whole Blackfish documentary and all that stuff. Like, just find it like I don't know. I don't see like a Disney company or a big company partner like just reaching out to I don't know. But then I don't know what
I think
SeaWorld is doing right now.
They kind of came out clean though, I think, at the end of that. Now, and then like a lot of people, I read a lot of articles on that, and that Blackfish is, they say it's a lot of incorrect information being passed along in that documentary. I don't know.
Yeah, I don't know. And I thought that they weren't supposed to be using the killer whales anymore, but I've seen pictures of them still in shows, so I don't know.
That's what I mean. So I don't know either.
So
I don't go. I never go. I don't.
Yeah, I haven't been to SeaWorld since Shannon was still alive. That was a long time ago.
Yeah, I mean, 89 was, I went to see, no, that's not true. 2000 was the last time I went to SeaWorld. And to be honest with you, I rode whatever rides they had and I left. Not a big aquarium guy. I mean, I'm sure I looked
The
at
article,
but
so the article was saying that one of the people leading the charge as far as Disney's involvement in this project is a Dr. Andy Stamper, who he had kind of done a lot of work to rehabilitate coral reefs in the Bahamas in partnership with the Disney Cruise Line, anchored out of the Bahamas as well as the Disney Conservation. So this kind of compelled Disney to help out in this effort here at home in Florida. It says Disney was the first in the Bahamas to implement coral nurseries in 2007. So I think they're taking that technology and that established, effort in the Bahamas and bringing it here to help our own coastlines. And also, so the Disney Conservation Fund has provided nearly $17 million to marine conservation programs spanning every ocean across the globe, including more than 70 grants to help protect just coral reefs.
Hey,
So I think it's
whatever works, because
yeah.
everybody, they talk about how the Great Barrier Reef looks nothing like it used to look, and
they're saying it's awful.
Whatever is just gets the ocean better,
healthy.
Yeah, well, these countries should be, I mean, these companies should be doing it too, because God knows they got the resources.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
All right, no more headlines means we are out of time. And we will see you next week at Quick Diz News episode 6. And who knows what they'll do to the Jungle Cruise by then. Let's see. Let me think about. So this week, check out the podcast as well, because we have Phil and Jeremy from Cast Conversations coming on, and that should be a pretty good interview. Those guys used to be cast members. They were in the college program. They have actually a great show they do where they interview former Disney cast members on a weekly basis. So this time they got interviewed, and I'm sure it'll be a good time. So we'll find out some stuff that we didn't know about the behind the scenes workings of Walt Disney World. All right. So once again, like, share, subscribe, and check out the website, www.quickdiztakes.com, Quick Diz Takes Facebook, Quick Diz Takes Tim on Instagram, Quick Diz Skook on Instagram, and we will see, and don't forget the Quick Diz Takes YouTube as well, and we will see you next week.